What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the exclusive PlayStation Quest for Hogwarts Legacy probably one more time until the game comes out, and of course, I play it. But in terms of the drama, the kind of reception and backlash, I would say, really, the game has gotten from fans, it's not unbelievable that it has happened. I'm kind of here just to talk about my thoughts on what I've personally seen and then how I feel on it, because I personally think the first big miss of this game was the whole pre-order drama, right? That stuff, the collector's edition, that stuff was really bad, and that stuff was, it came out the wrong way, some of the things, right? How things came out, didn't come out probably in the right order, and that was the first time, specifically on Twitter and on YouTube, at least that's where I populate myself, you saw that backlash where it's like, we're kind of used to this game always looking good, like people are always feeling good about this game, and then they mess up. And it's going to happen. There are going to be mistakes. This game is not going to be a perfect game from top to bottom, right? That's something I've actually always stressed since the beginning. I'm one of the only ones that do it. The game is probably not going to be a perfect game, and that's okay. With that being said, that was the first part of it, right? And in that pre-order is where the PlayStation thing actually came out of, right? We learned that, all right, there is a little bit more to the marketing, this marketing agreement that Sony has with Hogwarts. There's a little bit more to it. In fact, they get their own quest. They get a couple things with that quest, right? So it's not just they get a PlayStation blog post. It's not just they get a state of play. I saw people actually saying like, well, this is the price of getting an exclusive state of play. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of funny. That's probably actually kind of true in a way. Like, it comes with a price. But no, I mean, Sony pays for it. Sony offered them the money, and they took it. And that's something that I have brought up in the past in videos, and that's something I do want to bring up here as well. Who do you blame? And I'm not saying this as a judgmental thing of, you're wrong to blame one or the other, because I've actually seen both. I've seen people blaming Sony where, Sony gets mad at Xbox with the Call of Duty thing, but then Sony gets an exclusive mission for Hogwarts. Or Sony's mad at Call of Duty, but Sony, locks Final Fantasy behind PlayStation. It doesn't really help Sony's image when these kind of things happen, right? Because they are locking exclusives in a way, and they are locking it with Hogwarts. It's important to remember it's only 1 year. Only, quote unquote. Again, I'm not defending anything. Maybe the way I'm saying it comes across that way, but I'm just saying it how it comes into my mind, right? The things that are exclusive to PlayStation is 1 year. Not the pre-order, like the stuff that's just for anybody who pre-orders it anywhere. That stuff, the stuff that you can only unlock through pre-orders, that stuff stays, right? You can't just unlock that. They may make that available like a year or two later. I mean, if they do, great, I guess. I mean, I don't really care. But so for PlayStation, this quest is only the 1 year, and I have seen people very, very upset at this situation. And I get it. This is, it's a quest. It's whether it's half an hour or an hour long, I can see the debate, right? Because I've actually seen that too, where it's like, well, it's only exclusive for a year. It's only one quest. It's not that big. Or I'm getting it for PlayStation anyway, so it doesn't bother me, right? Those are kind of I see that. Like, those are kind of the arguments coming back. And again, I see both sides. I've brought it up before where it's like, well, Sony offers the money, but then Warner Bros., and that's the thing too, right? Does Avalanche have anything to do with it? Well, Avalanche could easily have just been told by Warner Bros., hey, we got this deal from PlayStation, make it exclusive, right? We got this money, we're working out. Oh, by the way, not just this quest, but like when we put trailers together and when we do stuff, you're going to be showing up at a lot of PlayStation-centric things because of this partnership we made for you. Don't worry about it because you're the people on the ground level. We make the decisions for you. So as long as, because I'm completely fine, honestly, with the debate and with people being mad or happy or whatever, but you got to understand, or at least in my opinion, think about where, like, did this actually come from? Is Chandler making these decisions? No. Is the team that's making Hogwarts actually making these decisions? No. Not necessarily. I mean, maybe some of the executives at Avalanche did, but we don't actually even know that, right? We know that Sony, somebody there, offered the money, and then they took that money. And I guess like it or hate it from that perspective, and it doesn't even matter who you go after, this has brought some backlash. The reason I'm bringing this up, right, is because ever since, I would say, the trailer, the actual trailer for the quest, before that happened, even when this pre-order stuff was going on, I saw people, upset. There were definitely people upset in the comments of videos talking about, this exclusive thing. Ever since that mission, that trailer for the mission, I've seen on Twitter, I've seen on every single one of my videos, there's always comments now. And again, like, it's fine. It's actually fine. It's a observation, if nothing more or nothing less, by me, in that people are upset. And it's, again, like the first time that you've really seen that. There's always going to be people saying, like, they're upset about the delay, or like, is the game ready? Or maybe people that never liked it, they may say, this game has never looked good to me. It still doesn't look good now. Like, you always have that. But this thing that's been kind of brought up where it's like, this is really scummy of them to lock a quest behind one console or, whatever. You're seeing that more and more. I don't know how big it's going to get. Again, I'm not defending one way or the other. Like, if it wants to become a huge deal that hurts people's opinion of the game, so be it. I don't think it's necessarily the game's fault. It is not a good trend, and I don't really know who to blame for that, right? Again, because we saw this. This was a huge thing in the gaming industry back, let's say, the late 2000s and the early 2010s. Pre-orders were disasters, right? You pre-order from Best Buy, you get one thing. You pre-order from GameStop, you get something else. And they were kind of meaty things. Like, you had to pick, well, there's 3 or 4 different places that are offering somewhat substantial things for pre-ordering. I can only get one. Actually, you would get 0 if you didn't pre-order it in general. I can get one, and I'm going to lose out on the others. That was an awful era, in my opinion. An absolutely awful era. That was also the era of some of those pre-order bonuses for select places or, consoles, right? They had exclusive missions or exclusive cosmetics and stuff. Cosmetics aren't as big of a deal specifically to me because I don't really care all that much in any game, really, what the character looks like visually, like the robe or whatever. I don't really care. But the mission thing, so that's why, again, it's even a debatable thing with me. Like, I was gonna get this game on PlayStation anyway. All right, like that's my go-to. PlayStation, I'm just comfortable with. I have both. I have the Series X. I love it. I have a PC, and I love it. But PlayStation is where I go for some third-party games. Not even most anymore, because I actually kind of split it with Xbox. But I was naturally gonna get it on PlayStation. I just was. So I would get the mission. So in that way, it's like, well, it doesn't affect me. But at the same time, being somebody who talks about games and many more games than just Hogwarts on this channel, yeah, it's not a good sign because I thought we were kind of done with this era. And if it's Sony's fault for bringing this era back, well, then it's Sony's fault. If it's Warner Bros.'s fault for accepting, because again, like, there's that push-pull. Who do you blame? Do you blame the company that offered the offer? I guess put the offer on the table. Do you blame them, or do you blame the ones who took it? I don't think you can blame either fully because it also depends on... You can't blame Warner Bros. Fully because they wouldn't have taken an offer that didn't exist. But also, you have to blame them a little bit because, well, Sony puts the offer on the table. That doesn't mean you have to accept it. You could deny it and say, no, we want our game. Like, there's not going to be an exclusive mission. We're not doing that garbage. So from that sense, I get it. I fully get it. And... not like a game preservation thing, but keeping games like in a good state and not kind of going back to the pitfalls of the past. This is a problem because you don't see this all that often. Like, exclusive missions to one console doesn't happen all that often because when it does, it actually does kind of stir up some stuff, and maybe rightfully so because it kind of brings back that era, in my opinion, a really, really bad era, an era where you'd have to pick what if you wanted to do Best Buy over GameStop, and now both of them are irrelevant, right? But you had to pick that, and then also on top of that dilemma of picking where to buy from, you also what you were getting from them were all different, and some of them were actually pretty darn big. I think it was even like, wasn't it Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham Asylum? You could play as Joker in like the Predator missions, right? How you could go, there's the main story and there's the missions where it's just like an open area and you can take out the enemies and you literally could play as Joker, but you could only play as him on PlayStation. Now, again, I only had a PS3 at that time. I didn't have an Xbox at the time. I would get one later. So for that period, naturally I got a PS3 and I got it, but you locked it off of others, and that was a big deal, and that was the era we were in, and it's coming back now. So yeah, I'm definitely not a fan. I will tell you that. I'm not a fan. It's not going to affect my life too negatively. You know what I mean? Like, I'm naturally going to play it. And, you know, at the end of the day, it like, I can make those arguments. It is only 40 minutes. It is only an hour long. The shop, I really don't think is all that big of a deal. Like, yes, the way they describe the shop, right, is once you complete the mission, you can sell gear there for basically more money. You would get a better rate there than any other shop. Well, it seems like you won't be able to do that, you know, say on Xbox or on PC. But, like, what's the price difference? If I sell my robe and I get 150, do I get 125 on Xbox? You know, so is it that big of a deal? At the same time, though, like, maybe it is. It actually could be. It depends on how you look at it. And, you know, if you don't have a PlayStation, well, that could be a pretty serious problem. I could understand the argument, and I can understand people being upset, and so that's the situation we're in. The game still, I think, has a lot of excitement behind it. I think it has a lot of hype. I think people that are mad about it are still generally on its side, but I have seen people say, like, they kind of lost me when they did that. And that's up to the, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's up to the individual. It's your money. It's your money to buy this game versus any other game, just in general. You spend your money how you want to spend it. And if you want to make a point on it, then, I mean, you have every right to do that, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.